Emily Carter believed in love. She believed in loyalty, honesty, and forever. At 28, she had built a simple but beautiful life in Chicago. She worked as a nurse in a private hospital, saved every dollar, and dreamed of opening her own small clinic one day. And in the middle of her dreams stood Ryan Miller, the man she trusted more than anyone. Ryan was charming, successful, and full of sweet words. "You are my future, Emily," he used to say. "You're the only woman I'll ever love." For 3 years, Emily gave him everything: her time, her heart, her savings, and even her dignity. When Ryan said he needed money to invest in a business, she helped him without question. "I trust you," she said, smiling. That was her biggest mistake. One rainy evening, Emily stood outside a luxury restaurant, waiting for Ryan. He had not answered her calls all day. Something felt wrong. Then she saw him. Ryan walked out of the restaurant, holding another woman's hand. The woman was tall, beautiful, dressed in expensive clothes. She laughed loudly and leaned on Ryan's shoulder. Emily felt her heart stop. She followed them quietly and heard the words that shattered her soul. "Next month we'll announce our engagement," Ryan said happily. "Engagement?" Emily's legs felt weak. Her hands trembled as she stepped forward. "Ryan," she whispered. He turned around. His smile disappeared. "Emily. I can explain." "Explain what?" Her voice shook. 3 years, and this." The woman looked confused. "Who is she?" Ryan hesitated, then said coldly, "She's nobody. Just someone I used to know." Those words were sharper than a knife. Emily felt the world collapse. "You used me," she said, tears falling. "My money, my love, everything." Ryan's eyes turned hard. "You were useful. That's all." The woman laughed and pulled him away. "Come on, Ryan. Don't waste time on poor girls." Emily stood alone in the rain. That night, she didn't cry loudly. She didn't scream. She just whispered to herself, "They broke me, but they don't know, I will rise." Her heart turned into fire. And that fire was called revenge. 4 weeks after that night, Emily locked herself inside her small apartment. She stopped answering calls. She stopped believing in people. She stopped believing in love. Every memory of Ryan felt like poison in her veins. But one morning, while standing in front of the mirror, she saw something different in her eyes. Not weakness. Anger. And anger became her energy. "I will not die like this," she said to herself. "I will not stay a victim." Emily sold the little gold jewelry her mother had given her and used the money to enroll in an online business and finance course. At night, after long hospital shifts, she studied numbers, investments, company law. She wanted power. And she knew money was power. Months passed. Emily changed. Her tears turned into discipline. Her pain turned into intelligence. She got promoted to senior nurse and slowly started investing in small healthcare stocks. She learned how to track people legally through public business records. And one day, she saw his name. Ryan Miller, co-founder, Miller & Co. Tech Solutions. Her lips curved into a cold smile. "So you used my money to build this," she whispered. She opened his company profile. He was engaged to the same woman, Sophia Reynolds, daughter of a famous real estate tycoon. Emily's heart beat faster, but not with pain. With purpose. "They think I'm gone," she said. "They think I'm broken." She closed her laptop slowly. "They have no idea," I'm coming back. Emily didn't want loud revenge. She wanted perfect revenge. She applied for a management job in a rival company that worked with Ryan's firm. She changed her hairstyle, her clothes, and even her accent. She was no longer the poor, simple nurse. Now she was Emily Carter, business consultant. Her boss, Mr. Johnson, trusted her quickly because of her sharp mind and honesty. Within 6 months, Emily became part of an important business deal, a deal connected directly to Ryan's company. The day she saw his name on the contract, her hands shook slightly. But her face stayed calm. Soon, she whispered. Very soon. That night, she stood on her balcony, looking at the city lights. Ryan, she said softly, you took my love. You took my money. You took my dignity. Now, I will take your world. The conference hall in downtown Chicago was full of light, cameras, and expensive suits. Emily walked inside wearing a black blazer and heels. Her hair was tied neatly, her face calm, but her heart was beating fast. She was here. And so was he. Ryan Miller stood near the stage, laughing with businessmen. He looked richer, more confident, and crueler. Emily watched him from a distance. 3 years ago, she would have run to him. Now, she planned to destroy him. Mr. Johnson leaned toward her. Emily, this is the CEO of Miller & Co. You'll be working closely with him. Ryan turned. Their eyes met. For 1 second, his smile froze. Emily, he said slowly. She extended her hand politely. Mr. Miller. Nice to meet you. I'm Emily Carter, business consultant. He stared, confused. You look like someone I knew. She smiled slightly. Many people look alike. His face changed. The power had shifted. Later, during the meeting, Emily spoke with confidence. She corrected financial mistakes in Ryan's proposal without hesitation. Ryan felt uncomfortable. After the meeting, he stopped her near the elevator. You changed, he said. She looked at him coldly. So did you. There was silence between them. Are you still angry? He asked softly. Emily raised her eyes. Angry? No, I learned something from you. What? Never trust a man who sells love for money. Ryan laughed nervously. You were too emotional back then. Emily stepped closer. I was loyal. There's a difference. For the first time, Ryan felt small. That evening, Ryan searched her name online. Emily Carter, senior consultant, Johnson Finance Group. Impossible, he whispered. She was no longer the poor nurse. She was above him now. Sophia, his fiancée, noticed his silence. Who is Emily Carter? She asked sharply. Just a businesswoman, Ryan said. But Emily's name stayed in his mind. And in Emily's heart, the plan had officially started. Ryan could not stop thinking about Emily. Her confidence. Her cold smile. Her power. He remembered the girl who once cried for him, and now stood above him. One evening, he called her. Emily, can we talk just coffee? She paused before answering. Business or memories? Both, he said. She agreed. Because the trap needed bait. They met in a quiet cafe near the river. Ryan looked nervous. You look successful. Emily smiled politely. Success comes after betrayal. He sighed. I never meant to hurt you. She stirred her coffee slowly. You meant to use me. That was enough. He lowered his voice. Sophia doesn't understand me like you did. Emily's heart wanted to laugh. So the game begins. You chose her, Emily said. I chose myself. Ryan leaned closer. I made a mistake. She looked into his eyes. And mistakes have prices. Over the next weeks, Ryan started trusting Emily again. He shared business secrets. He shared fears. He shared weakness. Emily shared nothing. She listened. And every word became a weapon. She secretly forwarded legal information to her boss and rival investors. Ryan didn't know, his company was bleeding from inside. One night, Sophia saw messages on his phone. Emily, you still owe me truth. Sophia's face turned red. Who is Emily? She shouted. Ryan panicked. She's nobody. But lies always smell. Sophia hired a private investigator. And Emily knew, the trap was working. Emily stood in front of her mirror that night. Soon, she whispered. They will fall, by their own sins. Sophia planned a grand engagement party in a luxury hotel. Media was invited. Business partners were invited. Investors were invited. It was supposed to be the happiest night of Ryan's life. Emily made sure, it became the most unforgettable one. Emily attended the party as a business guest. She wore a simple silver dress. Not loud. Not weak. Powerful. Ryan saw her and froze. You came, he whispered. She smiled calmly. You invited the whole business world. Why not me? Sophia walked toward them. So, you are Emily, she said coldly. Yes, Emily replied politely. I work with your fiancé. Sophia forced a smile. But tension filled the air. When the time came for speeches, Ryan stepped on stage. I want to thank my future wife, Sophia, for trusting me. Emily quietly signaled the hotel technician. The big screen turned on. A video started playing. Ryan's voice echoed in the hall, I used Emily's money to start my company. She was useful. Gasps filled the room. Another clip played, Sophia is just for status. Emily was love. Sophia's face went white. The guests started whispering. Investors looked angry. Journalists raised cameras. Ryan shouted, turn it off. This is fake. Emily stood up. Is it fake? She asked loudly. She walked to the stage. You stole my money. You lied to her. You lied to your partners. She looked at Sophia. He will do the same to you. Sophia slapped Ryan. Security came running. The party turned into chaos. The next morning, headlines everywhere. Tech CEO exposed in engagement scandal. Betrayal and fraud behind million-dollar company. Investors pulled out. The company's shares dropped. Ryan lost everything in one night. Emily watched the news silently. Her phone rang. Ryan. She didn't answer. Because revenge doesn't need words. It needs results. Ryan Miller's company collapsed within weeks. Court cases started. Partners walked away. His name became a joke in business circles. The man who once said, she's nobody, now had nothing. One rainy evening, Ryan stood outside Emily's office building. She saw him from the window. Poor. Broken. Begging. The same way she once stood in the rain. She went downstairs. Emily. His voice cracked. Please. I lost everything. She looked at him calmly. Now you know how betrayal feels. I loved you, he whispered. She shook her head. No. You loved what I gave you. He dropped to his knees. Help me. I can change. Emily took a deep breath. 3 years ago, she would have forgiven him. Today, she chose herself. You taught me something, she said softly. Never beg someone who chose to destroy you. She turned and walked away. Sophia left the city. Her father cut all business ties with Ryan. And Emily opened her own private clinic. A place for women who were cheated, broken, and forgotten. On the wall of her office, a quote was written, "Silence is not weakness. It is preparation." Emily finally smiled. Not because Ryan lost, but because she won. Not with hate. Not with violence. With intelligence. With patience. With power. Glowing Star. The End. Glowing Star.